Buyers gonna buy.
Yes, they
Buyers.
are.
Why would anybody buy right now? So let's just paint the picture here. It's a global pandemic, national emergency.
Right.
The world is shutting down. The economy is shutting down, and yet people are still buying houses like crazy. What's the deal? How does this work? Why would buyers gonna buy? Fill us in.
That's a great question. Why would buyers buy? Pandemic. You think, okay, housing is going to stop, just pause. But in fact, what's happening is there's less houses on the market, but yet just as many buyers as any other day, right? So it's forcing prices up. It's creating just super high demand where prices of houses are just continually rising. So many offers being made on houses. So you have to get competitive as a buyer, you got to definitely have the right team that has been doing it a while, knows tricks to the trade in terms of submitting offers that are going to get accepted.
Gotcha. So what is this I have never seen that presented this way. You have to be a competitive buyer.
Right.
So we're not playing basketball. I'm not trying to you know what I mean? We're not football players. We're not trying to be competitive. But you're playing a game here.
Yes.
You're trying to buy a house.
Right.
So what does this mean being a competitive buyer?
Yeah. So it's a great question. So to be a competitive buyer, you got to check certain boxes, right? A lot of people come to us wanting to see a house or tour a home, and they're too late already because there's things that need to be taken care of before you get to the point where, I think I want to buy a home, or, I found the perfect one on Redfin, or whatever they think they might have done.
Yeah.
You're already too late. So you need to do a few things, check some boxes off, check your credit, see where your credit is.
Credit. We want good credit.
Good credit.
What's good credit in a buyer's? If I'm a buyer and I'm going to buy, obviously we want to have the highest credit possible.
Right.
But realistically,
you could get lending with a 600 credit score, even lower than that. There's not a lot of people are deterred by a credit score, thinking, I need to fix my credit. I need it to be perfect. Not always, and it just depends on the case and what you're looking for. Yes, you'll get better rates as your credit improves and is higher. But should that be the thing that prevents someone from buying a home? I don't think so. You're going to build more wealth faster by purchasing real estate than you are, paying off your credit cards religiously for 2 years and then buy a house. You know what I mean? So if you had the difference between buying a home now with poorer credit, a higher interest rate, or don't do that and pay off your debts that are making your credit score higher, and then wait, 2 years to buy a home, you've lost, tens of thousands of dollars in terms of equity gain and potentially, flipping a home or selling a home or what have you.
Right.
So
credit. Yeah. And the opportunity cost.
Oh, for
of
sure.
the things that you didn't get the house. Now you're missing out on these other things. Cause then if you did get that equity, now you can do HELOCs and all this other creative financing stuff that we're really, when we're looking at credit and you're going, okay, cool. You got a 600 credit score. Great. It doesn't need to be at 800.
Right.
You just need to.
And that's what people don't realize is a credit score is literally a number. That's it. Right. So it means nothing.
It doesn't say how much you make.
If you have a high credit score, all that means is you're not using your credit. You're not leveraging your credit. If you have a low credit score, good job. You've leveraged your credit. Well, not always, right? Some people have mistakes, purchase.
On the scenario, it's definitely independent per scenario.
Exactly. Yeah. The perfect example would be, because I wanted to go back to credit, because there are certain boxes you need to check, right? So yes, we need to have an idea of what your credit looks like. Ultimately, you need to get pre-approved. That's number one. You need to have an idea of what you can qualify for a loan, unless you're paying cash. If you're paying cash, great.
Yeah, you're paying cash.
But if you're not, you need to have a pre-approval, and it needs to be up to date. So, they expire. You can only have them for so long. So you need to get them updated if you haven't found a home or what have you. So that's having one in the chamber, so to speak.
So this helps us become a competitive buyer.
Exactly.
Which is so actually getting pre-approved for something is more important than actually having a credit score.
Yes.
As far as being a competitive buyer.
Yes, just get pre-approved for whatever it looks like. It doesn't matter if it's 100,000 or 100 million, whatever. Just get pre-approved and have it always, you know,
right.
Every 90 days, renew it.
Because at least now you're in the position to make an offer.
You can make an offer, you know, with the snap of a finger.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's number one. Be pre-approved. Check the credit score and all that.
Nice.
And we can go back to the, you know, ways to, if you're leveraging your credit, you have a lower credit score. If you have a higher credit score, it just means you're not using it. So good, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we can talk about that later.
Okay. And then, so we did how to be competitive today, but that was only number one on how to be competitive. So how big is this clip we're putting in the gun here?
Right.
How many bullets do we need?
Yeah,
it's a 30-round clip here. We juicing up. We ready to buy. Buyer's gonna buy.
So it depends on the criteria of the house that somebody's looking for. So we need pre-approval, but then we also need to check out affordability for the client or the potential buyer. We need to know how much can they actually afford, and that's what that pre-approval will be for. So we're looking at income. So there's really like three areas: credit, income, and then debt. Those three combinations, those are the three things that we work with our clients on, either improving credit, increasing their income, or helping them come up with a strategy to pay down debts. So those are the big ones.
Okay.
And with those, either on a plan or helping them implement that plan, that's how you're going to get them set up for a more competitive offer.
So we are here today with Steven, and he's going to tell us about buyers. Buyers going to buy. And the really cool thing about what he's going to talk to us about these buyers is, how are you going to buy a house with no money down?
Zero money down.
Zero money down.
Technically, there's money down. Zero money out of pocket. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Yes, you can buy a house with zero down. There's ways to do it. We were talking about earlier having a good credit score versus a poor credit score. Mm-hmm. Okay, so a good credit score, all it means is you've made your payments on time, you have good history on your credit, and because it's a good credit, you are not therefore leveraging it. Okay, you can, for two reasons, you can have a poor credit score. You could either be not making your payments, making late payments, and that's going to drive your score down. Okay, or you don't even have credit, right? That's going to be a poor score or no score if you don't have credit. The other way that your credit score is going to be lower is if you've leveraged it, meaning you've taken on, what the bank would look at as something risky.
Usage.
Yeah, you're using it.
Yeah.
Right. You're using your credit to leverage in whatever it might be. So if you leverage it right, leverage the credit and use it wisely, the outcome is building wealth. The outcome is accomplishing whatever goal it might be that you're working on.
Gotcha. So because even if you in that scenario, what are you doing? You're making your 25% or your 20% or whatever percent down payment,
right?
With a credit card.
Exactly.
Or
let me give you
a credit card or a loan or a personal loan, or
it could probably be any one of those.
It could come from different places.
But
it is attached to your credit.
It's essentially the best way to describe it is it's other people's money. So that can be, a peer-to-peer lending. It could be a credit card. It could be a loan. It could be grandma, grandpa lending you. It doesn't matter, right? Yeah. It's other people's money, not borrowing, not gift. We're not talking about a gift. We're talking about leveraging credit so that you're either getting some type of loan, credit line access to satisfy the down payment requirements, getting into the home with zero money out of pocket. Cool. So to give you an example, my first introduction to real estate was meeting this real estate investment group here locally and then getting introduced to Fam Realty Group. Mm-hmm. What we did, my wife and I decided to take the risk and leverage our credit. Our credit was really good. So we got a draw of 7 credit cards and extended a credit line up to $75,000 between the 7 cards, I think it was. And then we were able to liquidate enough to satisfy the down payment on our current home. So we liquidate just as much as we could to satisfy the down payment. Mm-hmm. Really long road to buy the house as far as escrow goes and all that. But we essentially buy the home. And then what we did is we actually did that again with another 7 credit cards and was able to leverage the credit even more to fix the house up. And all these credit cards were 0% interest for some were up to 24 months, so 2 years.
Wow.
And
free money,
essentially. Like, yes, we're making the payment.
You had to pay it back.
We're making the payment.
It was free to get it.
It was free to get it.
Sure.
Some people would be like,
instead of 12%.
Exactly. Or 18 or whatever.
Oh, yikes.
They could go
or for credit card rates. 20%, 30%, whatever 20, they are. Yeah. Okay.
So these were all 0%.
0%
for minimum of 18 months. Mm-hmm. Some were 24.
18 to 24. Cool.
Yeah. And we had the plan. So if you think about this, you have a plan. So you can satisfy the down payment requirements pending you satisfy a debt to income ratio. So that's the other caveat, right? So if you take on debt, you have to still be able to satisfy the lender for the home, their requirements for debt to income ratio.
Aha.
And we actually didn't, right? So what we had to do is negotiate with our brother-in-law to say, hey, come move with us for a short time, right? To satisfy the requirements of everybody living in the home, And so we had 3 individuals that were showing income to purchase the home. And we worked the deal out with the brother that, he's going to get his share. And that's what we did. So we fixed the place up. All 3 of us were into this. My wife and I living in the home, Joe getting some of the proceeds of, investing with us in this home. Had 2 units, fixed them both up, live in the one, rent out the other, have since refinanced and have covered all the credit card 0% money out of the equity of the home.
Oh, cool.
So literally 0 money out of pocket.
So you're not
just covered.
All your credits,
everything covered.
Yeah, awesome.
And all came out of the home. Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
So then now you still have all that.
So what are we doing now?
Those credit cards, you're just sitting there.
Oh yeah. So now we have
credit.
Now we have 25. We have 25 credit cards after all is said and done.
Awesome.
No balance now.
Now let's remind everybody that these guys are getting credit cards not to buy purses and shoes and clothes.
Right.
They're using debt to leverage.
Exactly.
That's just it. Period.
Use debt to invest. That's the only reason, right? To invest in income.
You're buying cash flow, or you're buying cash flow. You're not buying a purse. You're buying cash flow that pays off the debt.
Right.
And then you also get a bunch of more extra money.
Exactly.
Because you made a good deal.
And so that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
So it
just because consumers are going to listen to this, when you're a consumer and you hear a credit card,
you're thinking, oh, I'm buying shoes. I'm buying.
You're filling up your gas tank.
All the Christmas shopping, what have you.
You're not buying groceries with this stuff.
No.
Right.
Not a dime was spent on anything like that.
That's awesome.
And now we're in a position, because it had a granny flat in this property, right? So we're expanding. We're going to increase the size of that place because we're basically doubling down on this on the opportunity on the lot, and it's gonna work. So what I would say is more people should look at this for themselves if it makes sense. I think it's one of the largest barriers, the biggest barriers to homeownership is the down payment for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. They could have great income, great credit, and just not a dime in the bank. Because a lot of people spend what they earn.
Around 70%, over 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly.
They don't have that $1,000 of emergency money sitting there to help out for anything. And it's like, well, how are you even going to put a down payment on there when you can't even provide that way at that level?
Yeah.
Or they're already leveraged in their credit cards. So now because they've used their credit cards for consumer spending instead of leveraging debt to generate wealth, right? They leverage debt to generate poverty.
Exactly.
Which is a completely different way of how you should be using credit cards.
Yeah. So I would venture to say, yes, this is a great strategy. If somebody doesn't have any savings, I would say there's some coaching, there's some processes that somebody needs to understand first, right? To be safe about it.
Financial literacy, just at least a little bit of it. Because when you talk about financial literacy, people are like, oh my gosh, I got to be some investment banker on Wall Street to learn how the stock market trades up and down and ticks and all this opening and closing. And that's not what we're talking about.
No, basic finances.
Yeah, basic math.
And this is personally what I do with every one of my clients is we start at square one. where we talk about goals. What are your 1 year, 5 year, 10-year goals?
Okay. So here, because a lot of times when someone, what are your goals?
Right.
You're like, what goals do I need to set?
Yeah. And that's what.
Tell me that.
No, it's a great question. So this is what I'm doing with all my clients
as a buyer,
and they're loving it.
Buyers gonna buy. What goals do I need to set?
These are either first time buyers. These are people that brand new usually, and some second time buyers that are interested in improving their income or what have you. So we take a look. We're more than just a realty group. We're really seriously interested in watching our clients build wealth, retire young, accomplish goals and dreams, and achieve them. And so with my clients, I set them up on a weekly coaching consult. It's either phone or Zoom, or we meet in person. And right now we're establishing goals. I help them. I coach them like, okay, here's, because sometimes a lot of people haven't even set a goal. They don't even know what a goal is, right?
Right. Or you could have a goal in something like, you have a goal in or certain aspects of life, and because that realm, that space, but you come into a new
finance goal.
Or a housing goal.
Or a hobby goal, or like a passion goal. So we go look at all areas, right? Finance, health, faith, whatever, we circle.
You get some targets. So you're like, here are the targets we're hitting.
And then I get, if there's a couple, we get both of the couples together and we talk about what are 50 things that you want to accomplish. What are 50 things you either want to do, have, or see, and we just bucket list, just list them out, right?
Okay.
So that gets like the brain going. We start talking about these things, and then you start to see like, they kind of posture up like, oh, wow, we can do some of this stuff. What's stopping them from accomplishing those things? So that's step one with my clients. Let's talk about that stuff. Then we look into the next piece. Okay, let's dive into the finances. What's income look like? What are the expenses going out right now? And a lot of times they don't know. So we have to highlight those areas and become, the people searching for the blind spots that most people can't see.
Gotcha. So now how do you do that?
Yeah. So I've built a calculator. I've built a process with all my clients that I share. They have their own folder with me in a Google Drive, so they get access to all this stuff and they can personalize it. And I'm in there helping them understand income, expenses, where's the money going, what's it going towards, so we can quickly identify, whoa, you spent a lot of money at restaurants last month. So we
because that can add up quick.
It sure can.
Especially here in North County. I mean, you go out to eat somewhere, it doesn't even have to be a nice place. It could be a normal place. Exactly. And it's still $30.
Exactly.
For one person.
For one person.
I'm like, what's happening?
No drinks. Yeah.
No drinks. Yeah. Right.
So we have to identify the holes, and it's a process. So the end result and the end goal is having a client that is feeling confident about where their finances are and where they're going. And then ultimately we want to see them get into a home that they love. And so that's really the goal. But in the process of that, we're setting them up on a financial plan, and we do it through the financial needs analysis, and we focus on those areas that they need help with. And so we're talking short-term finance, kind of in the immediate, mid-range, 2-3 years, and then long-term, do you want to work forever? Do you want to,
totally.
So we talk about investment goals and different vehicles, different investment strategies to use, and how to leverage those to buy more real estate, how to leverage those and create something what we call the family bank, where you no longer have to go to Chase or JP Morgan or Bank of America. You can become your own bank.
Gotcha.
And we coach them on, it's a process, it's not overnight, but
cool.
It's fun.
That sounds awesome. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
When you say that, you've been in QuickBooks?
QuickBooks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you get your people on QuickBooks?
No.
It does all your business and personal expenses, and you can track everything, and then it gives your profits, and then you be like, all right.
And so here's what I want them to get. Mint is a free one, mint.org. There's some other FreshBooks, QuickBooks, all those are great.
Yeah.
But if they don't understand how first, and I think there's some real, I'm a teacher, right? I'm a teacher by day. So I think
you put pen to paper.
There has to be pen to paper first.
Cool.
Because if you don't understand it, like why and how to balance your own kind of assets and liabilities and you know, manage your adult report card by paper, then, you know, the software sometimes can just kind of, you know, you don't understand the concept so well.
Gotcha.
You know, not for everybody, but for a lot of people, I think it's important to pen to paper first.
Yeah, especially for starting when you're 100%. I got you. Yeah. I'm with you on that.
And really, pen to paper is
you should be pen to paper on everything.
Excel spreadsheet. So
yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah. Same thing but different.
Yeah.
Cool. Buyers. So now they have their goals.
Okay.
Written down. They got all their stuff. They got targets to hit.
Yeah. And I give them weekly assignments. Listen to this podcast. Read this book.
Oh. So now we're controlling their media.
Well,
the content.
I wouldn't say I'm controlling that.
Yes, but watch how important it is, because that's in my opinion, the guy running all these cameras and microphones. Controlling the media is the single most important thing people should be doing.
Yeah.
Period. Where are you getting your information from?
Right.
Are you getting it from some newscaster who's getting $50,000 a year to sit there and read a teleprompter about what someone else put on the teleprompter and telling you how to think? Or is that where you're getting your financial information from?
Right.
Is that where you're getting your health information from?
Great point.
Or are you going to a certified professional who does it for a living and has proven track records of generating wealth for people?
Right.
Are you listening to the news, or are you listening to somebody who's a professional in their field? That's and then what you're doing is even providing them with more information and more media that they can download into their brain and understand this whole world of generating wealth.
Yeah.
Especially through real estate investing. So that's where I'm talking about. You're helping them control your media, because that's the single most important thing that someone can do.
I guess the word control, right, scares me. But
gotcha.
So I like highlighting areas of wealth building principles of, these there's so many podcasts, there's so many books, so many authors, so many great people that have, kind of just blazed the trail already. And it's important to, to just expose people to that. And so what we've done is, by creating weekly assignments, I'm such a teacher. Like, that's literally why it's this way for me. So I'm creating this curriculum, financial literacy curriculum for our clients. The end result, the research project, or the project paper, or what have you, is, let's see you in a home or an investment that you love, right?
Yeah.
So in that process of all this curriculum is your goals, your finance, and producing income, exposing you to business opportunities that you didn't think were available as a full-time employee, side hustles, all kinds of things that you don't get taught, unfortunately, a lot of times in school. And
So now they're getting educated, they're getting their weekly assignments, and does that also include, hey, look, you gotta cut back on this Amazon, man. You're on to Amazon, you got that quick swipe, you're buying stuff left and right, you're down, $3,000 this month in Amazon purchases because all you're doing is you're not even adding it to cart. You're just pressing buy now and swiping it, okay? So you get what I'm saying?
Totally.
So you're going in there and kind of putting a foot down, putting a stop to that?
There's definitely...
Let's just remove the Amazon app and you can only buy stuff off your computer.
Yeah.
Are you doing things like that? Or?
It's going to be more consult-based, more coaching-based, identifying the blind spot. Hey, did you notice this? I'm never going to be the person to tell them what to do, but I'm going to highlight what's preventing you to reach the goal,
and let them tell themselves what
they have to. Because when the student's ready, the teacher arrives, right?
Yeah.
So
and you're a teacher, you're not a coach.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a difference. A coach will tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Teacher will educate you. Yeah.
And I like to think of myself as a coach as well, because I do like to yell at people as well. But But no.
In this scenario.
Yes.
Right.
But by teacher is a leader. Teachers, leads by example. And really the student needs to take that leap and needs to take that action on their own, rather than being told what to do. Right. Of course, we can tell them, hey, this is what I think.
Yeah.
It's up for them to kind of make that decision. But highlight the blind spots. Let them have the opportunity to kind of make adjustments. But ultimately, if there is no meeting the expectation of, hey, did you listen to that podcast? Did you read that book? Did you go out and have this finance date with your wife? And they say, well, we haven't, or what? Well, then at that point, it's wasting my time as well, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't like saying that, because there has to be some compliance, because you're going to get what you give. And I'm going to give more to those that are really putting an effort into it for sure.
Right on.
Yeah.
To help them buy the house.
Buy the house, and also long-term wealth through other finance, other investment vehicles, other strategies.
Cool.
So in addition to real estate, buying a home, we want to see our clients get into policies and investment vehicles that are safe, that are liquid, that are tax advantaged for growth and distribution.
Cool.
And they have a consistent rate of return. Okay. And that's what we do. We set them up with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So